it's more like this. So it's a lot more complicated, and it's so much bigger that you will need to consider the performance and speed. And you will connect the Power BI dashboard to a SQL Server database, and you can deploy the database to the cloud, or you can host it locally. But it's a huge database. It has almost 30 tables, and some of the fact tables have close to 20 million rows. So that's when you need to make decisions, and you need to do performance tuning to make sure the data flows and performance, you don't compromise on performance. Okay, so today's presentation, and the topic is how to write a DABI resume with no relevant experience. So DABI stands for Data Analytics and Business Intelligence. So if you are a recent grad, or if you're about to graduate this summer in 2024, many students don't have work experience. And knowing that it's extremely hard last year and this year to get co-op and the internship opportunity. So many students will graduate with no experience. We also have another big group of career switchers. So these people, they do have the experience. They have had some experience in the past. However, it's not in the data space. So the experience is less relevant, or it's not relevant at all. So either recent new grads or career switchers with no prior experience working in the data field, you have the same challenge. So you will need to convince the employer to give you that job, and you will need to demonstrate you have gained the skills and experience somewhere else. So a lot of times we, at WeCloudData, we create opportunities to help you learn the skills and accumulate the experience through project. And we think project and the hands-on learning by building is just one best way to accumulate experience. So to start, I'm going to tell you a story. So let's go back to 2021, November 2021. So as you can tell, this gentleman, he approached me online on LinkedIn. He works at an American company called Conan's Aerospace, and he is the senior manager, operational excellence. And he heard about WeCloudData, and he also knew we had a business intelligence bootcamp. So he approached me. He asked if I can recommend some, good students, and send him the resume. So as you can tell, at one point we started by email, and then we switched to messaging on LinkedIn. So he asked me to wait until the job is available. So this is when he said, "Eric, please feel free to point your program grads to my posts on my profile. We will be open to contacting external candidates after this week." So I thought, this is just one of many referral opportunities we receive from the hiring managers we know, or even hiring managers we don't know. And it's great for our students. So I said, "Excellent, Viet. I'm forwarding your post to this cohort applied BI students." So after that, we exchanged emails, and I collected a few resumes, and I sent them to the hiring manager in a zip. Fast forward, let me just go through until here, December 16th. Wait, so this November 21st. So it's a little over 1 month, right? 40 days. So this is when I messaged him. I said, "Hi, Viet, I heard the good news that you have made an offer to Cody. And she's super excited to build a career at Collins Aerospace under your leadership. In case you're hiring more BI students in New Year 2022, our current cohort of applied BI students will graduate before Christmas, and I will handpick the best candidates for your team." And the feedback from him is, "Hi, Eric. Yes, we were very impressed with Cody's knowledge and particularly how she presented herself. And we believe that she has a lot of potential to grow into a strong analyst. And we're looking forward to have her on the team." So this is a really good story. It's a success story. So I'm going to show you Cody's profile just in a bit. So you can see this is the young student I referred, and she is working today as the principal specialist reporting and analytics and reporting to Viet. So if we go back and I can show you her resume. Let me just, okay, I hope you can see it. Maybe it's too small. Let me make it bigger. How can I make it bigger? Wait. I think you can still see it, right? I hope so. Oh, I don't know. I just did something stupid. I'm going to show you her resume, but I masked her name and the company name. But I'm telling you, this is her resume. And if we look at the bottom of the resume, so you can see her education background. So she had 2 degrees, a bachelor's and a master's. So the Bachelor of Arts in it's double major, economics and environmental geography. And for her master's, she continued on, doing rural planning and development. So if she, if she were to look for a job in her field, probably she can work in the city government and the planning department or becoming a planner, right? But if you look at the experience, this is the only experience she had. Once again, I masked the company name. So this was actually her own company. And so she created this company as a event planning business. And as you can tell, produced 20+ live concerts for A-list Asian artists or celebrities in North America. But very quickly, we knew what happened. So the COVID hit and she had to shut down the business. So this was her limited experience and it's less relevant, but it's her experience. So she still put this experience on the resume, but no priority, put at almost the bottom of the resume. So now if we go to the top of the resume, so this is the summary, and then you have the skills section, and then you have project, right? Almost, all of this skills and project experience she got from WeCloudData, from this bootcamp. So if we could go through the summary real quick. So this is how she described herself. So the summary is like, 30-second intro. If the hiring manager asks you to introduce yourself. So you will say, I am a data-oriented analyst, business intelligence consultant, proficient knowledge in economic statistics and analytics, strong understanding in marketing, data programming, and machine learning framework, superior cross-functional planning and execution experience with influencing skill, communicate with clients at all levels, some soft skills, work from business to data to insight to action to outcome, closing gaps and creating value. And real quick, and the most important part of the resume is your skills section. So she break it down into several categories, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories. And the first is programming, so including SQL and Python. And she mentioned something very specific just to show you that she is not a basic, user of SQL. She is at a more advanced level because she knows window function, right? And Python. And SQL is more important, has higher priority over Python. And then she mentioned statistics. Once again, she tried to be specific. She mentioned A/B testing, customer segmentation, regression, classification. And then visualization. So she mentions 3 tools, Tableau, Power BI. GIS is another tool she used in school. And then database system is also very important. So you see SQL in both places because SQL is the name of a database and also a programming language to communicate with that database, right? So SQL is the name of the database system and also the name of the programming language. So over here, she mentions MySQL, and she mentions Microsoft SQL Server. ERD stands for Entity Relationship Diagram. And she also mentioned Google BigQuery. So this is also SQL in GCP, Google Cloud Platform. So she used it in one of the projects, in this project, Google Merchandise Store dashboard. And she also mentioned Excel. And then machine learning and operation optimization and business domain knowledge. So she mentioned digital marketing, project management, CRM, superior business writing, and public speaking skills. So very concise, but yet you walk away with the impression that this individual, she is all-rounded, she is technical enough, right? So then it comes to the projects. So without relevant experience in, DA and BI, and she supplemented with project experience, and it's being recognized by the employer. So this is the proof, right? And she included 6 projects. So let's count it. So 1, 2, 3, and 3 more, 4, 5, and 6. And she's been very strategic. So she included 3 most important projects and 3 bullets for each project, 3 bullets, 3 bullets, 3 bullets. And she also mentions 3 other projects, but very simple, just 1 line, right? So 6 projects, you can see scope of her bootcamp experience. And also she chose to highlight 3 most important projects. So the first project is digital marketing using Google Analytics, not just the user interface, but the database behind it, right? So the store is called Google Merchandise Store. So she created a dashboard using Tableau. So very quickly, let's go through it. So she has had experience in ETL, extract, transform, and node it. Google Analytics data, so with 1.4 million records. It's not huge, but it's big enough, 1.4 million. And in BigQuery on GCP, right? And use BigQuery to analyze Google Analytics data and calculate Google Analytics metrics, and got pit level data nested in GA sessions. And so this is, technical to the extent that those people who work with, Google Analytics sessions would know this is, quite detailed, right? Exported BigQuery tables to Google Cloud storage and then download it to local drive. Okay, so this is the process. And then after that, she built a dynamic dashboard with KPIs for acquisition, activation, and retention. So this is business terms, such as monthly and yearly traffic. So she mentioned a few KPIs, and those of you who have done any project in digital marketing, you would recognize them. Total sessions, average page views, average duration on page, and then these are dimensions, source, location, and also acquisition amount per channel and bounce rate per page, and applied filters and parameters reporting for segmentation analysis and comparison analysis. So this is, good enough to show you that she has had experience working with Google Analytics, and she has also had some, business domain knowledge. So the second project's home credit, and this is in a fintech company, and the project itself is machine learning to predict, the probability that the customers will default on their loans. And once again, if you look at the numbers, and so the project is complex enough with 7 tables, 3 data sources, with 110,000 employees and 300,000 records, right? And this is on AWS. Okay, so the third project, retail and e-commerce business analysis using Power BI, DAX, and calculation groups. So let's look at the complexity and size of the project. Build a robust data model from 7-dimensional data tables and 1 fact table using DAX and calculation group. She didn't mention the size of the data. Okay, so now this 1-page resume, I think, is technical enough for her. And the reason she stood out, was also because she included the second page. So this is a portfolio sample. And you see Google Merchandise Store. So you have the first-hand impression, by looking at the visual, right? This is the retail and e-commerce. This is not that easy if you look at, the dashboards she produced. And you don't need to spend that much time on this page, but I think by looking at the second page, you somehow are convinced that this candidate has the technical skills and experience to handle the work. And that's how Viet, her boss, her hiring manager, got interested in her and called her for an interview. So we trained all the students to present, their project to the employer. So she did a really good job, during the interview. And so the entire story is all about how to use, how to convert the bootcamp experience into the bullet points on the resume and stories you can tell during the interview. So the bootcamp can help you get interviews. And we also have mentors helping the mentee, one-on-one to pass the interviews. So I'm going to pause over here. Let me just look at the comments or question. Hello, my network is a bit weak. Can I please get a recording of the presentation? If you sent me a, let me just type my email address. If you sent me an email later, and I can send you a link to the recording. Second question, as part of the project, if you have savings numbers, example, in a automation project, automated the process save 1,500 hours, should we add it, and how on the resume? So this is a good question. And the benefits, you can showcase the benefits in multiple ways. So could be increased revenue and sales, or could be cost reduction. So in this case, it's the manpower you freed up and the costs you reduce, right? Or you can allocate this 1,500 hours somewhere else and to create more value for the business. So absolutely. So this is more like operational efficiency, and you somehow help the team or help the business, automate the process, streamline the process, or eliminate the number of manual steps, and you use some sort of technology to automate human manual work. And that's definitely something you should include. So in fact, if you go back to this resume, she actually mentioned operational optimization. So you could use, for instance, Microsoft 365 automation. Now it's called Power Platform. So you can use Power Automate or Power App to automate, human manual work. And even with Power BI, some of the ETL process you can automate using Power Query, right? So that's something you definitely need to include. All right. Ashish, I think I will need you to send me an email. I wouldn't be able to remember your email as we go through this presentation. So if you don't mind, just send me an email afterwards. So this is a really good story. So I'm using this to show you it is entirely possible for new grads or career switchers to get interviewed and pass interviews. So now let's go to something I always want to show you, the job market first. So let me just go back. I have bookmarked this Boolean search, and I can actually post it on the chat. Wait, let me try again. So this is working. Let me just copy paste it. You can see, take a look. So this is a more advanced search. The job it returns should include the keyword data and this huge, super long bracket. So one of these keywords. So this keyword and one of these. So you can see I use all to separate all these keywords: report, needs, operations, growth, and some of them are key phrases. So I put them within quote. And this is a really good search criteria. You can use it, and you can change it, and you can bookmark it. So every day you can click it and to see how many jobs are available. And the other two things I want you to do is, if I go to almost the end of it, you will see here. So here it says age equal to 1. So that corresponds to here. So that means all the jobs it returned, they were posted in the last 24 hours. So the age is 1 day, right? And over here, I also limit the radius within 25 kilometers of Toronto, right? Ontario. So you can see, since yesterday, we have had a little over 100 jobs. year 2022 and prior, even during COVID, we had a lot more jobs. I used the exact same search. So back then, I saw anywhere between 400 jobs to 600 jobs. But today, I only see 100 jobs. So that is telling you the size of the opportunity is shrinking, right? So the job market has less jobs today, but still there are jobs. So some people got very worried, I'm looking for a job, but this is the worst time. I ask you to please not to get too carried away or too concerned by the statistics, because it doesn't really matter if the economy is doing well or not so well, or it is going up or down. All you need is just one job, right? So if you work with a team of capable people at WeCloudData, and we will help you, find your position in this job market, and we will help you get more interviews, and we will help you pass those interviews. So real quick, and this is a company we know, Google. So this is technical sales. So it's a sales job, but you still need to understand the subject matter, which is data analytics and Google Cloud, right? So if I click this, you can take a quick look at it. So it requires you to understand data warehousing, data lakes, real-time event processing, streaming, ETL, right? We mentioned ETL a while ago. And if you have worked with GCP, it definitely helps you, right? So you know enough to sell GCP as a service. And so data and analytics analyst. Capital One is a company we know, right? It's a credit card company from the US. Associate business analyst. So this is a business analyst, and it's a new grad 2025 full-time. So if you're going to graduate, 2025, I think now is a good time to get you prepared. And it is a good time to work on your resume. It is a good time for you to upskill, and so you can stand out from so many students, looking for opportunities like this. So I'll look at this. SQL to create data. And so this is a domain language. So underwriting, fraud, product development. And one of our project will touch upon retail lending and specifically credit card. So that use case or that project will help you to get the context. Okay, keep going. And I will just skip those company names I'm not very familiar with. So this is insurance. And this is healthcare. Starbucks, we know. It's a coffee chain. Okay, so this is working in the finance department. No, wait a minute. Senior financial analyst, but it's product and marketing. And the salary is 76 to, it really depends on your, I think, skills and experience level. All right. And so it's about revenue and P&L, 9 items. One of the project we did, it's FP&A, financial planning and analysis, and that's going to help you. And we also, by the way, we also have a coffee chain project. Let me just go back real quick. I'm going back there after this. Wait a minute, it's not this. I'm trying to, okay, so it's here. Okay, so I have a section called skills. So these are the sample texts, we ask students to copy or to replicate, but you could always, do your own thing. So you will let your personality to come up. And we do have a coffee chain, and just so happen it is financial planning and analysis. And you work with QuickBooks, Excel, Power BI, and Zebra BI. And you analyze trends and drivers of revenue and expenses to maximize profit. You create a P&A data model, including accounts, business units, scenario. So it's actual plus forecast versus plan. And you will need to analyze the variance and the reasons and time intelligence. So you can compare, these metrics quarter over quarter, year over year, year to date over year to date. And assistant manager in annual budgeting and quarterly forecasting of P&L, profit and loss, and operating KPIs, monitoring variances, identifying trends, and recommending actions. So we do have something that that is close to Starbucks. Okay, so let's just go back there. Right? So using Excel, you can handle that, and then it's Power BI and Tableau. So it's perfect. It's perfect. And let's just take a look at one more page, just to get you an idea. CIBC, so bank, product management again. If you work in the product group, probably I think you will look at pricing, and you will also look at customer segmentation. You always do two steps, and first is customer segmentation, and the second step is product recommendation, right? So I hope you remember, customer segmentation and then product recommendation. So you recommend the product, you offer the product based on the needs and wants of that specific customer segment. Okay, you can take a look. Sales pipeline. So you definitely need to work with marketing and sales and product and process. It requires you to so this is about sourcing, RFP, request for proposal. This is usually part of the vendor management. Doesn't say a lot. Okay, come back here, TD, data governance analyst. So data governance is about, availability and quality of data. And that's part of ETL as well, and insurance. Okay, let me look at a question on that. Hi, Eric, I have a PhD in mechanical engineering 2023. I'm looking for a career in industry. However, I have a gap in my resume because I needed to take personal time off. I need help navigating my way back to the job market. I am interested in data science and BI. I would appreciate if we can communicate later to see what are my best routes and how your program can help. Absolutely. So Ahmed, please remember my resume. And I'm going to also send you, just give me a second. I will give you a few things. My email, my LinkedIn profile, and also my calendar you can use to book me for a meeting. So we can talk about you. We can just talk about you, your particular circumstances, and how to strategize your search and how we can help you build a career. Okay, so let's go back to the job market and insurance. So this is an AVP. Let's pass that. LG Electronics, financial analyst. It's interesting. We have a few analysts, opportunities, openings in finance department today. And if you combine corporate function with an analyst, you could almost, find a role for that title. So for instance, you can have marketing analysts, you have sales analysts, you have product analysts. Product analysts, I forgot to mention, also involves pricing, right? Pricing. And you have financial analysts, you have supply chain analysts, you have operational analysts. Yeah. And if you combine the industry name and analyst, you can also see a role and opportunity that exists. So you could have a, let's say, CRM analyst, digital marketing analyst. You could have e-commerce analyst. You could have logistic or supply chain analyst. You could have a HR analyst or game analyst, right? So that is telling you this kind of opportunities exist everywhere, in every industry, in public and private sector. So if you particularly want to work for government, at federal government, provincial or municipal government, you can also find lots of opportunities. So I'm going to stop here. This is a real estate, or at least, real estate and property management. Let's just take a look. Cushman and Wakefield. Uh, 2 to 4 years. Whenever they ask for 2 to 4 years of work experience, doesn't really matter. If you can show them the work you have done using the portfolio, and this is imposed by HR, and only the hiring manager knows that a very strong candidate, you don't need 2 to 4 years of work experience, right? And this also asks for 1 to 2 years of experience in real estate. So once again, let me show you. We have a particular project right here, right? Apartment plus real estate investment trust. And this is real estate. And you can see these are the bullet points you can add to your resume. And you can just copy paste, but you don't feel good, copy pasting, right? Unless you actually do the project, and you're gonna, show people with confidence that everything you put over here, you can support it, you can stand by it, right? So you can overcome the imposter syndrome. So if you have actually spent time working on the project. All right. So coming back here, so I'm going to show you my general approach. And I created this just to help our students. If you add all of these to your resume, this will be too much. But I recommend that you include at least 6 bullet points. And you notice that some bullets are about data, right? Database data, right? And some of them are about business. These are business. And some of it is actually communication. So this is data visualization storytelling. So the one best way to show people your professional range is you can combine your business domain knowledge, your data skill, and also your visual storytelling skills to your advantage. So I highly recommend that you include programming, database system, and one of these. So if you're looking for data governance jobs, and if you're very strong, detecting and solving data quality issues, you can do this. So this means you focus ETL, data warehousing, right? Or you can focus on this, turn questions into queries and data into insight, right? So I highly recommend you include programming, database, and one of these. And you absolutely need to include data visualization, storytelling. So that's already one of these three, and there's four, right? And it's always good to include business analysis or business domain knowledge. You can include the CRM, customer segmentation. Remember, it says customer segmentation comes first before product recommendation. Did you notice that I always try to be specific? I always put something within the bracket. So this is a good example. CRM. So I use CRM data for email campaign. Customer segmentation, we use our FM model. So it's recency, frequency monitoring. Product recommendation, we can use market basket analysis, MBA. And digital marketing is marketing attribution and financial planning and analysis, right? And once again, programming SQL. So did I mention we need to be specific? So you can include complex joins, nested queries, window functions. So people will treat you as a senior instead of a junior, right? Because nowadays, even the university students in the second year of university, they will include every tool they have heard of. So how can you stand out, right? But putting this on your resume is one thing. You actually practice all these skills is quite another. So during the bootcamp, we will definitely, so for instance, SQL coding, we actually do 6 Decode SQL workshops. It's like pair programming. We train you, we grant you, so you become very competitive. So whenever the employer give you a SQL coding test, our students will always pass that, right? All right, any questions on skills? And once again, it's too much to include all of these, but you definitely need to include 6. And then the project experience. Let's just take a look at the, which one? What about active outfitters? So this is e-com. This is actually supply chain, sorry, supply chain. Let's take a look at it. So 4 bullets. You analyze e-commerce, internal and external supply chain process, causes of delay, causes of late delivery, and the impact of late delivery on customer experience and revenue and profit. If the customer is not happy, probably they will return. They don't want the product anymore, and it will affect revenue, and you will lose this customer's repeat business. It will definitely increase costs and affect your profit, right? Okay, so this is the technical part of it. And during the project, you ingested large data sets. So data about customers, about product, about orders and order items. And you created a multi-dimensional data model. And you calculated 11 dimensions and 18 measures. And you provided real-time insight into operational efficiency. Once again, operational efficiency and financial performance. And enhance order fulfillment, visibility, and control. So that's the goal you're trying to achieve, right? And across stages, so all the way from order to shipping to delivery. And you also streamline vendor management. And you will need to deal with different shipping partners, different shipping modes. So what kind of shipping modes? I think I mentioned somewhere. could be same day, first class, second class, and standard class, and different costs involved, and service level agreement. So if you promise that you will deliver my order same day, and then you gotta deliver on same day. If I receive it tomorrow, it will affect the customer experience. So you will improve on-time delivery rates with first and second class shipping, and empower logistics team to set and exceed customer expectations, because this is all relative, right? If you set the customer's expectations too high and you can't deliver on the promise, and then you fail, right? So it's going to be bad experience from the customer's perspective, and it will have consequence. So you provide shipping options, and you also provide estimated delivery time at checkout. So this will help increase the conversion rate. So if customer know and they are sure, they can receive their order quickly, and they will purchase. If they look at the shipping option, it's going to take, I don't know, during Christmas time, it's going to take a week or 2 weeks. You know what? People don't want to delay and the gratification, and they will abandon the shopping cart. And then after that, you provide real-time order tracking with an online dashboard, and then you will deliver on time. So this is part of supply chain, and you support the internal logistic team to manage, customer experience. Is it good? I think this is a good project to work on. Any questions so far? Let me do a time check. So we still have an hour left. I'm going to show you our bootcamp and how we structure it. So this is Applied Business Intelligence Certificate, and we have our own learning portal. So it's learn WeCloudData.com, and we have different chapters. So altogether, you can see 16 of them, all the way from pre-bootcamp to offboarding. So when you finish the bootcamp, we will assign you to an industry expert as your mentor, and the mentor will help you one-on-one with anything, with resume building, with interview scripting, interview practice, mock interview. And some students also ask the mentor to help them with portfolio building, and maybe even give them pointers to practice coding tasks. So the mentor basically will do everything, will guide you every step of the way until you get hired. But the bootcamp itself usually takes 3 months to finish, but we offer this as a self-paced recorded bootcamp. And so if you contribute 20 or more hours a week, more or less, you will be able to finish the bootcamp within 3 months. So we break it down into pre-bootcamp. And pre-bootcamp, the purpose of it is to help you get familiar with particularly SQL and Python. So when you start the bootcamp, you wouldn't feel the learning curve is too steep. And this is actually really good for the students with zero experience in coding. Okay, let me take a look at the question. What is the relationship between Microsoft and WeCloudData? There's no relationship. Microsoft tools, we use Power BI, we use Microsoft Azure, you know. So Microsoft is a technology company, and we use quite some of their tools, including Power Platform. What is the nature of the mentorship for self-paced courses versus full-time courses? And so self-paced versus live bootcamp. So live bootcamp, students will need to attend the live lesson at exact same time, Monday through Thursday. So it's 7:30 to 10:30 Eastern time. And self-paced, because all you do is watch the recorded bootcamp, watch the recording. So you can do it anytime. And a live bootcamp, we only have 4 cohorts. We usually start January, April, July, October, but now we are migrating to self-paced. One big benefit is you can start anytime. You can start anytime. So in terms of support, self-paced, we enhance the TA support. If you get stuck working on the project or working on SQL coding, you can ask the questions on Discord, and our TA, our teaching assistants, or instructors, or program managers, or myself will help answer your question right away as soon as we see them. We also run office hours. So if you have a number of questions you want to clear, you can go on Zoom, Monday afternoon, 2 p.m., and you can get your questions answered. And if you have too many questions and those questions are personal questions, you can also schedule one-on-one, TA session, and we have no problem. It's our job to help you, solve the problem or fix the bugs so you can move on. And the big difference between live bootcamp and self-paced is, for self-paced, you will need a little bit of self-discipline to keep going, right? Because you don't have that body system. Our observation, in the past, we run live bootcamp. Every cohort, we have, 20 students, 25, and maximum 30 students. We observed that, every cohort, you probably have 5 or 6 students, and they ask most of the questions. And the other 20 or 25 students, they are quiet the whole time, which begs the question, it's no different if you just go back and watch the video, watch the recording. And it's flexible, and you can do it anytime, and you can start anytime, right? So that's the reason we migrate from live bootcamp to self-paced. So starting, our current live bootcamp will end very quickly, and after that, we have no intention to do more live bootcamp. So in future for BI bootcamp, it's going to be self-paced recorded. All right. And how much is it? And so, Allison, my understanding, don't quote me, I think it's always better to send me an email, and so I can connect you to our program advisor, because Warnie or Louise, they have the most accurate information. I think it's 5,600, but with discount, so with scholarship, you probably can get a few $100s off, and if you register before the end of this month, something like that. Okay, so the other question from Louisa. Is there a Slack or similar community for students to collaborate or study together? Absolutely. So for not live, for self-paced bootcamp, we use Discord. So let me just show you on here. So I will show you real quick our Discord channel. So this is the business intelligence channel. As you can tell, students are asking questions and we're answering them. Well, I skipped that part and changed sort. It is giving error. So we fixed the bug right away. You see? Yeah, and the students, you can message each other and actually they're helping each other as well. So for those students who start at the same time, or you maintain the same or similar kind of progress, you can form study group, and it's actually really, really convenient for you to form a group and encourage each other. Okay, do you have anything for people who are already in data analytics field, however, need assistance in job hunt, networking, and resume building with maybe some in-depth tools and software knowledge? The answer is yes. So our program always includes 3 parts: the bootcamp training and the real-time project. And so that's for the students or career switchers. Even after the bootcamp, you still feel that you're short. You want real experience and real work experience. So then with additional cost, we can, put you on a real time project. So everything you get from there is a real world experience, and you will get reference. So bootcamp training, RCP, real-time project, and then career services. And if we put them all together, it's a combo. And you can definitely purchase just career service. That's no problem at all. Yeah. So once again, I encourage you to send us emails, and we will reach out to you to understand your special needs, so we can provide the service according to your requirements. Okay, so over here, as you can tell, even Excel, if you expand it, we have course loads, the course notes, and the data set, and the PowerPoint slides. And you can just keep going. And the first day, the second day, and if you put in the password, and then you can watch the video.
Couldn't go and do this 5 more times, but I don't know, high school is worthless because the first thing I normally do,
ChatGPT or Excel.
headquartered in Canada, to get education or and then
Yeah.
version data system.
So,
Yeah.
so Harad, the instructor, is building, he's building a dashboard, a very simple dashboard. So this is the Excel lesson, right? So this is the first chapter. It's very easy to navigate and SQL, and this is just introductory, and later on you will see. Let me just collapse this. Later on you will see, I think we have a SQL workshop somewhere. and with a different instructor. And you will go through extensive training on SQL coding. So if you count 5 tools, Excel, SQL, Tableau, Python, Power BI, and then we have capstone project. This is actually going to almost the end of it. We need to resequence this. And then supply chain project, fintech project, marketing analytics, digital marketing, credit risk analytics. This is Power Platform, retail. And then we host a portfolio workshop to help you build a portfolio. And then offboarding. Any question on this? Okay. If no questions, so this, after the bootcamp, we have the career services. So if I click mentors, so WeCareer is part of WeCloudData. And there is a list of mentors you can choose. And all of them, almost all of them were successful students or alumni or mentees. Some of them are so successful, they're even in the hiring position now. And they always want to come back and hire from WeCloudData because they know the quality of the graduates. And for instance, if you click open Deepak Rana, and you will see a short bio. And this is where you can see if the mentor is working in your target industry. And you also look at the role they have work and the industry, and also the skills and the use cases they apply the skill, and then the services they provide, right? So for instance, he only provides 5 services: career positioning, resume building, portfolio building, job search and analysis, interview practicing. Another mentor may provide, different kind of service. Let's see, Johanza. Yeah, he provides more. Career positioning, testing, certification, resume building, portfolio building, job searching and analysis, job networking and referral, interview scripting, interview practice. So he does it all, And if you look at the skills, it's also very comprehensive. Johanza is actually our 5-star mentor, and he has helped many students find a job. And he also do career sessions on our bootcamp. If I come back, let me show you my dashboard. This is my dashboard, so I have every cohort. Let me see, career. Yeah, so you can see Johanza, he has hosted several career workshops as well. So we provide this as a general help, and there are many short videos you can watch. And particularly, your mentor will give you personalized service to help you get interview and pass interview. All right. Any questions? All right. If not, I'm going to show you our app. Pretend I am a student or mentee. Let me log down to WeCareer app. So the app has multiple features. The first one is a mentorship tracker. And so this is essentially, so I pretend I am Denise and my mentor is Eric. And then you can see it's a 2-people project management tool. So maybe the first day, first time you meet, you can break down the end goal into milestones and tasks. And then you set, so for every task, you can assign it to either the mentor or mentee. Most of the time, you assign it to the mentee, but there are times you need mentor to work on it too, right? So you have a start date, you have a duration, and when you finish it, you can change the status to complete it. And then you will see this check mark. So after all the tasks associated with the milestone have been completed, and you can check that big milestone and then you move on. So eventually, this will visualize the timeline progress, it's actually really good for you to see, how you're making progress. Most of the time, the students or the mentees feel frustrated is because you don't have a sense of progress. So the mentor's job is to make sure you work on the right thing. And number two, give you the feedback, so you feel a sense of progress. You're making progress. You are getting better. You're getting closer to the end goal. And the mentor can also hold you accountable, and they will dictate, the quality of your resume, and if you're ready to apply for jobs, if you're ready to go to an interview, things like that. And the job tracker is actually very useful feature. And you can download this Chrome extension. And then every time you go on Indeed or on LinkedIn, if you see a job you like, you just click on the extension, and that job will automatically be parsed and saved into the job tracker. So both mentor and mentee have access to the job tracker, and this just help you to get organized. And the mentor also can see the jobs you apply for. And if they sense that you didn't apply for enough jobs, or you apply for only junior jobs, and that will show, right? So this is a really good way for the mentor to track you and to make sure you're doing the right thing. And the moment you receive an invitation for interview, and then the mentor and mentee can work on this opportunity too, right? So you move this to interviewing, and you can type notes. And because both mentor and mentee have access to this, you can add a contact, whoever can refer you to that job, or maybe can get close to the hiring manager, and you can do that too. So this let you open a drawer, for this opportunity, and mentor mentee can collaborate very closely on this. So we are being very serious about, helping you to get interview and pass interview. And we used to do the job work over here, but later on, we just, sent the opportunity to Slack channel. So let me just show you our Slack channel for career services. Okay, so this is WCD career service. You can see every single one is a mentorship channel. Everyone. It just so happened somebody got a job last week, so you can see it's been a while. Amin hoping Shaheen to get hired, right? So this is everything I told you was real. Any question? And interview practice, this feature is also very useful. So the mentor can create a mock interview and assign it to you, and you can practice. So when you feel ready, you can record this interview, and the mentor, whenever they have time, they can watch the recording and give you feedback. So that's often very useful when the mentor is not immediately available. So for instance, today is Tuesday. If you have interview scheduled on Thursday, and remember the mentor may have a day job. So if they're not immediately available, then you can do this interview practice through async way. So you don't have to wait for the interviewer. You can still practice and record the interview. And we use AI to create a fake interviewer just to make you nervous, to create the pressure. So that's almost like a real interview on Zoom. And obviously, the best mock interview is with the mentor on the Zoom. So you can definitely do that. But even without that, the mentor can create a mock interview and assign it to you. And you do it and then record it, and the mentor can watch it later and give you feedback. So it's a very useful tool. And some of the mentors, mentee, they use this quite often just to get more and more comfortable and more confident, with the interview before you go to the real one. All right. Any questions before we move on? I like to hear more questions from you, so this presentation will be more pointed. No? Okay. Okay, so maybe I can show you a bit the capstone project or student work on. And as you can tell, this is Power BI. And after you finish this, you can publish to Power BI service. And this is just like an application. It's very, very impressive. And we teach students not just the data skills, but the design. And with the proper design, the dashboard looks professional, and it's also easier to build. And we use PowerPoint to create the background, and so you can import it. And it is a lot easier when you have a shape over here. It's a lot easier for you to align everything so they don't look messy and then look very professional. And you see, this is also very good design. You hide all the filters in this. When you click it, you can, right, when you click the hamburger menu, you will have the filters group over here. You can change anything, and the data will change with it. So for instance, if I change to 2020, you will notice the change, right? And if I want to change to computers, and you will also see the change, right? Okay. And if I go to different page, every dimension has a page. This is geography. This is where this is product. This is what. This is also where store. This is supplier, who, manufacturer. Yeah. So you have a number of pages to cater to different needs. If you go to geography, and you can toggle, net sales, if you change to gross profit. So everything you see is gross profit, you see? Sales quantity. So this becomes sales quantity. Net sales again. If I want to see Europe, you see Europe. If I want to see a particular country, and the map will show that country. If I go there, you will also see the tooltips, the very details, right? And it's very, very well built. If you click anywhere else, it'll come back again. So this revolving globe is highly visual. So if I go to product, and you can see the design is still very consistent. It looks different, but consistent. And the same 3 measures, but at different level of the product hierarchy. So this is a decomposition tree to show you which product or which product category contribute to the most to the net sales. And once again, if you switch to gross profit, this will become gross profit, right? And Pareto. Pareto is a great way to show you that 20% of the products account for 80% of the profit. So this 80% of the profit, you only need this many products, you will achieve 82%, right? So these are the head product you need to focus. And then you also have a long tail that you will need to deal with. So you then move up to product category, that's no problem. So you see high level product category. I can also move down to product. And then you will see a lot more product, right? And you can get fancier to see, the product network and how they contribute to the SKUs. All right, so if I go to store, I can also go to manufacturer. Yeah, so this is a major manufacturer, and everything will reflect that one. Or I can, switch to a different one. It's very easy to navigate. So quadrant analysis. So you can look at 2080 customers and product. And this is dynamic comments. And this is a waterfall growth from year to year. This organic growth, you can analyze the pricing impact on the growth or the volume impact on the growth. So in this case, pricing is having a positive impact on the growth, but the volume is shrinking. The volume, you sell less, but you sell at a higher price. Discount analysis, if discount strategy is effective, generating more sales. And then you can create your own report using this. This is very useful. You see, we use the field parameter. You can select any dimension. If I select only year, then this will be just year. If I select net sale, then it's only net sale. And I can select multiple measures. So this will add more measures. If I add product category, then this report, you can customize your report, and then you can also select different channel. You can use all these filters to configure your report. So once again, very, very useful. Question? If no more question, I actually finished the material. I finished the presentation. I encourage some of you to reach out to me. Once again, you have seen let me just copy paste my contact details again. You can send me emails. You can schedule a meeting with me. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. If you want to talk about your particular case, I can do that. And if you can send me your LinkedIn or your resume, that's even better. So I will go to meeting prepared. All right, thanks a lot. So Adam, I think that's everything. Good night, and I hope to see some of you again.
Hey, thank you, man.
You're welcome.